asking people what their top questions for a lawyer are. Can I ask you the top 10 questions people have?
Sure, let's hear them.
All right. First off, what should I do if I'm arrested in Minnesota?
Oh, first and foremost, don't fight back. Be cooperative. Your time to challenge any of that is going to come later in court. And number two, don't answer questions. You just tell them you don't want to talk without a lawyer present. You don't want to tell them where you're going or what you're doing. Just say, I'll go with you. I'll follow your directions, but don't, try to talk your way out of it.
Great. And what happens at someone's first court appearance?
That's a really good question, and I do hear that a lot. So your list is right on point. There's a lot of different things that are going to happen. Usually, it's called an arraignment. Number one, the court wants to make sure that you understand what it is you're accused of, that you understand your legal rights, that you can hire an attorney or apply for the public defenders. And number three, depending on how serious the crime is, the court's going to address whether any release conditions are necessary. Are they going to say, you got to check in with probation, you can't do drugs, do you need to put up some bail money, things like that.
Can I get a public defender, and how do I apply for a public defender?
Yeah, so public defenders are mandatory for any kind of a crime that could result in you going to jail or prison. However, there are income cutoffs. So if you make too much money, you will not be able to apply for one. How you apply, you ask the court. You say, I think I might apply. Can I get an application? Who do I talk to? And they'll walk you through it and ask you all the questions that they want to ask.
What's the difference between misdemeanors, gross misdemeanors, and felonies?
So those are all different types of crime in Minnesota, and they're going to be from least serious to most serious, but misdemeanors, gross misdemeanors, felonies. And when we say least serious to most serious, what we're talking about is the amount of jail or prison time is going to be way lower on misdemeanors with a maximum of 90 days. In the middle, gross misdemeanors, maximum of 364 days. And then most serious with the felonies, anywhere from a year and a day in prison to life without parole.
How about this one? Can Minnesota police search my vehicle or home without a warrant?
Yes, it depends on the circumstances. There are a lot of exceptions to the warrant requirement. Some of the most common ones are, if you're pulled over on the side of the road, they usually can search your car if they think they're going to find evidence, what we call exigent circumstances, right? If they show up to your house just because they want to ask you questions and they hear somebody inside getting attacked, they can come in for public safety reasons. So yes, there's a number of different times that they can search your vehicle or your house without a warrant.
How about this one? Can a criminal defense lawyer help me before charges are filed?
Yeah, they absolutely can. I always say there's no time too early to call, right? I'm not going to tell you how to commit a crime and get away with it, but if you think you're being investigated or you've had police contact or you just have some general questions, I'm always happy to talk. And there are a lot of things that a defense attorney can do beforehand. They can help you find and preserve evidence. They can help you reach out to witnesses early. And sometimes you might want to give a statement. So they could help you, come up with what you want to say, what you don't want to say, and then go with you to speak to the police and try to clear your name without ever having charges brought.
Speaking of charges, what legal defenses exist in drug cases?
Well, there's a lot of legal defenses. Some of the most common ones in drug cases are going to include challenging the warrant, challenging the stop of your vehicle, challenging the amount or type of substance that they found, different aggravating factors to bring down the severity level. Was it in a school zone? Were there kids around? Things like that. So there's a lot of different things to either try to get it dismissed completely or to at least bring down the severity level.
About what penalties and consequences could I face for an assault charge?
That's really, really dependent. To say, if I just shove you, that's probably a misdemeanor assault most of the time, and that's, you're looking at maybe a little bit of jail time at worst, some fines, maybe some classes. Versus, if I hit you with a baseball bat and break your arm, well, now you're looking at felony level assault charges. You might go to prison, way more fines, way more probation afterwards. So really going to depend.
What about if I've been charged and I've done my time? Can criminal records be expunged in Minnesota?
They can. We actually have a pretty robust expungement system. There are some exceptions of things that cannot be expunged, but really, depending on how serious the crime is, there's going to be a waiting period of some number of years where you need to not be convicted of any new crimes. And then there's an application process that you file with the court and tell them why, how is this record holding you back? How is it hurting you? And what have you done since then that makes you eligible for expungement?
Sure. And the last and biggest question of all,
Oh,
can I talk to police without a lawyer?
well, yes, you can, but I would advise you to never talk to police without a lawyer. It is just not a good idea. You want that objective third party who's got the knowledge and experience to understand the different police tactics and the ways that they might try to trip you up. And most importantly, the ways that even innocent information might be used to try to implicate you in a crime later. Really, the best advice is to never talk without a lawyer. And if you think you want to talk, call me first. Let's talk it out. Let's see if it's in your best interest or not, because you can't ever take it back once you've done it.